Alina Whitfield handed a stranger $42,600 in cash in 3 separate envelopes over 11 days. She never saw his face.
Case file number 25-0819, Worcester, Massachusetts. Names changed to protect victim identities, based on public court records from the U.S. Department of Justice.
Alina was 81 years old, and she still answered the landline in the kitchen every time it rang, because her late husband Robert used to say a ringing phone was never wrong to answer. The first call came at 11:40 on a Tuesday morning. A young man's voice, shaky, said, "Grandma, it's me." He said his nose was broken. He said not to tell Mom and Dad. Alina asked, "Tyler, is that you?" And the voice on the phone said yes and cried harder, and that was all the confirmation she needed. He said he'd been in a car accident on the highway, that the other driver was hurt, that the police had arrested him, and that he needed bail money before they transferred him to county lockup. The second call came 4 minutes later. A different voice, calm and official, introduced himself as Tyler's court-appointed attorney and explained exactly how bail worked and exactly how little time there was. He told her not to go to the bank and say the money was for bail. Banks flag those withdrawals, he said, and it would only slow things down. Just tell them it's for a kitchen renovation. Alina withdrew $4,000 that afternoon, then went back the next day for more, spacing it out exactly the way the attorney had told her to. A man in a gray sedan pulled into her driveway before dark. He never came to the door. He waited at the end of the walkway, and Alina carried the envelope out to him herself. 2 days later, the same calm voice called again. The bail had been increased, he said. There were processing fees the court hadn't mentioned before. Tyler was still there, still scared, still asking her not to tell anyone. It happened 3 times in 11 days. A phone call, a withdrawal, an envelope handed to a stranger in her own driveway in the dark, while her porch light stayed off because he'd asked her to leave it off. It was Alina's daughter, Karen, who finally called Tyler directly, not the number from the accident, his real number, saved in her phone for 6 years. Tyler picked up on the second ring. He'd been at work all day. He'd never been arrested. He didn't know what his grandmother was talking about, and then he heard why she was crying. The police told Alina what they'd already suspected. This wasn't one man improvising. It was a script read off a call sheet, used on hundreds of grandparents who all described the same 2 voices, the same instructions, the same man in a car who never shows his face. Months later, federal investigators traced the operation to a call center more than 1,600 miles away. In the Dominican Republic, 13 people charged, more than 400 victims identified nationwide, most of them over 80, more than $5 million collected in cash and driven out of American driveways exactly like Alina's. $42,600. That was what Alina gave away in 11 days, believing every single time that it was the last envelope and that it was really saving her grandson. If you get a call like this, here are 3 signs it's a scam. 1, they tell you not to go to the bank and say why you're withdrawing money. A real emergency never asks you to lie to your own bank. 2, they ask for cash handed to someone at your door instead of paid to a courthouse. 3, they beg you not to call another family member to check. A real emergency wants you to call for help, not stop you from it. Agree on a safe word with your family today, something no caller could guess, and if anyone calls in a panic asking for money, hang up and call them back on the number you already have. Some versions of this call now use AI to copy a real grandchild's voice from a few seconds of video online, which makes the safe word even more important than the sound of the voice itself. If it's already happened to you or someone you love, report it at reportfraud.ftc.gov or call 1-877-FTC-HELP. Alina's case is one of hundreds the FBI is still untangling. If someone you love is over 60, send them this video today and agree on your safe word before you ever need it. Subscribe to Silver Alert Files for a new true case every week.